Oh yeah, why is this in our driveway? Well, there's a lack of a Toyota 4x4 Sequoia in our driveway, you may have noticed, and that's not because we chose to replace it with this. This is the rental car support vehicle because a week ago our beloved 4x4 Sequoia got T-boned in an intersection, fortunately, and we're very thankful, and there were no serious injuries. Our son was driving, and yeah, anyway, these things are going to happen with a teenage driver, unfortunately. Fortunately, no one was hurt, and we're waiting to hear back officially as far as whether or not our Sequoia is going to be repaired. But in the meantime, we have this Audi Q3 to drive around as our rental car. So, you know, not bad as rental cars go. It is on the small side compared to a Sequoia, which I guess the good thing is great gas mileage comparatively, and it's comfy to drive. I'll say the ride quality is awesome. I like that, but it's just a wimpy little 2-liter motor with no modifications whatsoever. So 200 horsepower in this is really not that much. So yeah, anyway, we'll be tootling around in that for a little bit as a rental until we get our Sequoia back. That's why we have this. We did not get a new vehicle. That is not going to happen anytime soon. Yeah. Projects right now, since we're kind of at an impasse with Joan Jetta and her electrical issues. We are going to do the rear brakes on our silver Jetta. So this is just a quick one for anybody who has ever had to deal with these, since they actually have to thread backwards. The pistons have to be turned while you compress the pistons in order to get the calipers reset to put in new brake pads. So we're just going to do that. So this is a very quick video, and I'm assuming that you know the rest of the steps to bleeding brakes and all that. I'm not going to go through all of that, but just getting there. So right here, replacing these brake pads, they're well, right down to the very end, so just in time. And we are going to start by unbolting these bolts here, and that will allow us to free the caliper, get these old pads out of the way, and then we'll get to retracting the caliper. Anyway, if you do have more than one vehicle and you do your own work, I highly recommend investing in one of these Motive power bleeders, both for being able to bleed the brakes by yourself and making sure that you've got a good brake feel, but as well as when you are resetting the calipers, it's going to push some fluid back through the system, and it'll either overflow, or you have to remove fluid, or if you attach this, it'll just flow backwards into this, and this is fine. So it's just another helpful reason to have one of those. To remove these two bolts, you need a 13mm and a 15mm, and hopefully it'll go fairly easy here. this, there's an actual toolkit for retracting this sort of piston, and I've found limited success with the kit. There's also the universal approach, which is this cube thing that you can find for a couple of bucks at most auto parts stores, and usually I find that this is faster and easier, but I'm going to try both just to see how we do. So I'm going to try it with this one first. It's a number 6 that appears to work. All right, so here's an issue that you can run into with these Volkswagen calipers. If you wait too long to replace the pads, like I did, and they are ground all the way down to the very last millimeter, you're going to find that the caliper piston is extended too far for one of these type of kits to fit in there to compress it, which means you don't have any choice except to use this style of compressor in order to get the job done. So what we are going to do here is find the side that lines up with these notches, and I think that's it there. And what we do is we put the compressor on the outside of this, and then we'll be using one of these tools to retract the piston and unscrew it as we go through. All right, so the contraption I've got rigged here is the cube, which I'll be retracting using an extension for a socket. And then I've got the, whatchamacallit. This is a clamp from Harbor Freight Tools, trigger style. So I just squeeze on it, put pressure, and I'll be, maybe this one's a little long. Use this one. And I'm just going to be turning the cylinder backwards while I put pressure on the cylinder here.
2 hours later.
So I ended up cheating, and I just unbolted the banjo bolt for the brake line, removed the e-brake line, and took the caliper off so I could put it in a vise and and retract it while using the tool. It's just too hard with it wiggling around out here, so I'm going to do that on the other side as well. And then of course, since I'm going to be bleeding the brakes anyway, I'm not overly concerned about air getting the line. I'm going to flush it all out. So now I'm going to go ahead and stick this back on, and we'll put the calipers, or the new brake pads, in place. I'm going to go ahead and break loose the nipple here before I put it back on the car, just because why not? It's off and out of the way. Getting these little rubber dust caps off is always an interesting bit of fun. I suppose I should probably have my needle nose pliers. Be a lot easier with those. So let's see. Oh yeah, there we are. Needle nose pliers, thank you, and come on off here. There we are. Right. And this guy, if I recall, is an 11 millimeter. Yep. And oh, good grief. All right. So just broke it loose and snugged it back down again. If you've never taken off an e-brake cable, goes through like so. Get all the rubber bits through there, and then there is a metal clip that is going to go on here and hold it in place. So this clip goes on, and let's see, it goes all the way there, and then that clips around like that. Okay, metal clip is on, that's happy, and now the banjo bolt, I'll wait until I just I'm not gonna squeeze on the pedal till I get the brake caliper on the other side done as well. And when I have that, I'm gonna come back to this one. When I come back to the video, just assume I've done the other side as well, put the brake pads on the other side also, same process. And then what I'm gonna need to do is step on the brake pedal a few times to expand the calipers, and then I will begin to bleed the actual system. All right, so we've got pressure in the power bleeder. I've stepped on the brake pedal a few times just to get these cylinders, or the pistons, tight on this, and now we're going to go ahead and bleed this. Oops, it's probably the wrong end. Yep, that was the wrong end. All right, try that again. Works much better. There we go. So you see a lot of air, a lot of bubbles coming through the system, which is to be expected because I had it open. So we're gonna let all that come through. I'm gonna let it run about a good 20-30 seconds just to flush out the old fluid. It's been a couple of years. And then I'm going to tighten it down just for a sec, step on the pedal a few more times, just to get any more air through the system. Now there's still a bunch of air bubbles appearing here, but this is kind of deceiving because these are air that's getting sucked in here at the bleeder screw and popping through. But you see how the fluid is all clear now. So I'm in pretty good shape. If I open this up all the way, yeah, these are really consistent air bubbles. These are just coming in from the bleeder screw, not up in the line somewhere. So I am in good shape to tighten it down. And that, as they say, is that. Now I'm just going to go put the wheels back on and give it a road test, but should be good to go. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. I hope this was helpful for you. If you've never dealt with the Volkswagen screw-in rear calipers, you know, that's just a thing. By the way, in the early part of the video, I realized I was trying to do them counterclockwise. That was incorrect. You want to do them clockwise. They screw in just like righty tighty. They screw in. So do it that way, not the way I was doing it originally, and you'll be in great shape. All right, peace out. God bless. See you later.
And on that terrible disappointment, it's time to say goodbye. We'll be back.